B207A, and we are in week 5 right now, and we are still covering block 1. Can anybody remind me what is block 1 about? What's the main title of block 1? Innovation. Absolutely. So we are studying innovation here. We are not only studying innovation by itself, but from the perspective of marketing. This is why we started looking at marketing in this course and from the perspective of innovation. Also, next week we will start with operations management, and we will also see how you could innovate in operations management. Because if you want to learn how to innovate in marketing, you need to understand what marketing really is. We started with the marketing definition, and then we talked about the 4 P's of marketing, the product offering, and what it offers as a whole to the consumer. Today, we will continue the 4 P's. In session 7, we will be looking at the promotions, the pricing, and also the services when it involves a service and not a tangible product. So we will start with communication. Communication is one of the marketing mix elements. It's which one of the 4 P's? Yes, it's the promotion factor of the 4 P's. Okay, it's the promotion element. So what is the promotion mix? It's the various communication techniques. So think about how companies communicate with its customers. How do we communicate with customers? By ads, yes. Events, absolutely. Okay, so you are on track. We are on track on how to communicate with the customers. So things like advertising, like personal selling, sales promotion, public relations, publicity, all of these are parts of the promotion mix. Please don't confuse between promotion mix and marketing mix. These are 2 different things, right? Marketing mix has the 4 P's. One of the 4 P's is promotion, and then under promotion, we have the promotion mix elements. So here we have the promotion mix elements, all of them, and we will start with them one by one. So your classmate here said advertising. This is a way for us to communicate, to tell about our product, to describe the product, to promote the product to our customers. It's to do an advertisement. So an ad, we all know what an ad is. It could be an ad on the TV, on the radio, in the newspaper, on social media. It could be a digital ad. It could be somewhere on Google, on YouTube. All of these are called ads. All right, so it's paid. Whoever the company needs to pay the provider of the ad, wherever it's published at, and also mass communication through mass media. Now, it's published to a big number of people. Think about the TV, for example. On the TV, the same ad is published to everyone. Okay, we cannot really filter who sees the ad and who doesn't. In a newspaper, the same thing. Billboards outside in the streets, when you see an ad on a billboard, also anybody passing on that street will see the same ads. Okay, now in the recent years, social media and digital marketing came to organize this aspect of advertising. Now the ad will show up to you on your computer or a smart device only if you are interested about the product. Okay, so they try their best not to waste the cost of the ads on people who they know are not interested about the product. So Advertising used to be for mass communication for everyone to be sent, but little by little, the advertisement aspect is being more targeted towards the target consumers. What is the benefit of an ad? It makes it known, absolutely, so it builds awareness. It builds awareness, and sometimes it would push somebody to buy a certain product. Now, the risks is that it's impersonal. So the same ad is being sent, is being shown to everyone. So it's not about the person himself. So it's impersonal. It's a one-way communication. It doesn't wait for a feedback from the customer. So this is the first communication technique, we call it. How we communicate with the customer. Is it clear? Yes? Okay. Now, the second communication technique is called personal selling. What does personal selling mean? Anyone?
We have a salesperson and a consumer.
Yes.
I have a communication between them, oral or written communication.
Great. Great. So you go to Jarir, for example, and you want to buy a computer. So here, if you don't know which computer to buy, you will call one of the salesperson and they will help you. So they start asking you questions about what you need the computer for and how much you will use it for and so on. So here we have, unlike advertising, we have a personal selling here, right? Because the product that will be suggested to you will be based on your needs. And this is exactly what the benefit of this personal selling is. It's that it's personal, it's interactive. So there is a give and take between the organization representative and the consumer. And also it builds a relationship. Now, what is the risk? Of course, it's expensive. To have a salesperson, you have to hire a person, you have to pay them a salary, benefits, and so on in order to help those consumers. And the whole experience will depend on how much skilled, how much of an experience and skills this particular salesperson have. So if he messes up the thing, maybe the whole brand will be affected, right? So the skills that the salesperson have is an extremely important part. Next is direct marketing. What is direct marketing? Direct marketing, how many times do you receive a message on your phone about an ad? Okay, so those SMS messages are called direct marketing. If you receive at home, those brochures or leaflets that explain a certain product, this is direct marketing. If you receive it by mail, in the States, people would receive direct mailings to their mailbox, okay? Or to your email, for example. All of this is called direct marketing. So basically, it's targeted. They know exactly who they are sending it for. It's not randomly that they send it to the phone numbers of people or to the addresses of people. Okay, so it could be personalized. When you receive an ad by email, you might see your name written at the top, right? So the same email body will be sent to thousands of people, but each person will see his or her name at the top of the email. And also, it's easy to measure the response of those emails. Why? How is it easy? Yes, because it's electronic. So if the email tells you click on this link to access our website, they are measuring this. They know that you clicked on this email, so they know how effective it is. All right. So all these direct marketing techniques, they have statistics and they have ways to know how many messages, for example, were opened and were looked at and were actually helpful for the organization. Of course, the risk is that it has low response rates, and it could be annoying sometimes for some people, especially if you are targeting the wrong people. All right. Another communication technique is digital marketing. What is digital marketing? It's anything you do digital, online. Okay. Now, let me tell you this. Videos, products that you see on online, either on Google or on any other platform. This is all digital marketing. Also by email, all of these are digital marketing. Nowadays, it's very hard to speak about marketing without speaking about digital marketing. Okay? Digital marketing becomes the most used ways for all companies to reach their customers because of all the advancement of technology. So anytime you use a digital channel, this is called a digital marketing. Of course, it has a global reach. The advantage is that you could reach people from anywhere in the world. You could reach people in India, people in Africa, people in the States. You can reach people everywhere using the digital marketing. Okay, now the problem is that the setup costs are expensive and it can be intrusive. It could be intrusive to the privacy of people. Right? Did you find it intrusive anytime? Digital marketing? Have you searched for a product and then all of a sudden you start seeing advertisements about this product or its competitors? Always, all the time. Why? Because it's an algorithm. It's a computer system who is spying on you and looking at your behavior, what you need and what you want. And then this algorithm will take this information to Facebook, to Instagram, Snapchat, whatever, and it has a certain idea about who you are and what you need. Okay, so thanks to digital marketing, things are becoming more targeted to people. Next is sales promotion. What does sales promotion mean?
I think it's a marketing activity that is aimed to encourage customer loyalty by offering them discount or incentive from buying.
Great, perfect definition, thanks. So you go to the mall and you see a sales, 30% off, okay, at a store. This is the sales promotion. Or you go to the supermarket and you say, buy one, get one free. This is another sales promotion. So basically it's purchase incentive. They're giving you an incentive to buy something. Okay, so the advantage, of course, is that it can promote sales, it can increase sales, but it could have sometimes some damage and to the reputation of the business. If the business is always having sales promotion, the consumers would think that, you know, this is a cheaper brand than they thought. The next communication technique is called sponsorship. What does sponsorship mean? Okay, have you seen the World Cup in Qatar? Yes. Who do you think pays for all these expenses? Other companies. Big organizations, they fight on being sponsors to events like this. Okay, in return for what? They pay for the expenses in return to having their name displayed and their products used by the people there, and their advertisements will be on the TV for people who are watching the TV. So they tell you برعاية, صح? Okay, in sponsorship of Pepsi, for example. I forgot who were the sponsors of the World Cup, but Nike, Adidas, whatever it is, will be sponsoring this event. Okay, usually, depending on what the event is, the sponsors will be. يعني, if the event is a sports event, you will see the sports clothing companies want to sponsor the event because they have a similar target market here. صح? Yeah. So if it's a sports event, you would see companies like Nike, Adidas, Red Bull, Pepsi, companies who have a similar target. The younger generation, it's more addressed to the male watchers more than the female, although this year we saw lots of female also supporters of the World Cup, but usually football is a game for يعني more towards the male demographic. Exactly. Okay. Type. The last one is public relations. What does public relations mean? PR. Have you heard about this term? PR? PR is a non-paid third-party communication. So imagine you open a certain magazine or a certain newspaper and you read a positive article about, let's say, Panda Supermarket. All right? Is this more powerful than an ad of Panda Supermarket, or is the ad more powerful? Right. You have somebody else who is speaking about Panda. So you are more likely to believe what they say about this third party, more likely than you believe that Panda is speaking about itself. We do this and we do that. But when a third party speaks about the organization, you are more likely to believe, and this is the power of PR. Okay? And this is why it has high credibility and potential for reach and relevance. Now, the risk of public relations is that it lacks control on the communication. You don't always have control of what the other party will say about you. Okay, so the choice of mix can be influenced by the activities of competitors. So we are not saying that in order to promote your product, you have to use all of these elements. You don't have to use all of these techniques. It's a mix. When we say mix, think about a recipe, a cake mix, a recipe. Okay, so you can choose to put some or all of the ingredients. You don't have to put all the ingredients. All right. Now, depending on your marketing strategy and depending on what your overall strategy is, you might want to put more of a certain ingredient more than the other. All right. But you don't have to put all the ingredients at once. Right. So this is what promotion mix is. Any questions? So it's also important that all these techniques convey a similar message. You don't want your ad to convey a message and then your salesperson will come and change this message. The consumer in this case will be confused. All right? The consumer will not have the same type of messages being sent to him or her, and they will be confused. So make sure that all the communication techniques follow the same strategy, a similar message that is being sent. All right, so your salespeople should be trained to address the right messages of the brand. Your promotion, your sales promotion should be also set in a way that that also reflect what the brand is. Okay, of course, the direct marketing, the digital marketing, all of them should be coherent, should be sending a similar message. Any questions? Okay, so now we come to the last P of the 4 Ps, which is pricing. Okay, pricing also is a very important element to give an idea about what the product is about. Okay, what does price tell you about a product? If it's good quality or not. All right, although it's not always necessarily true. Okay, but usually a person looking at a low price would associate it with a lower quality. So you need to observe yourself if the high price was given for a good reason. So what is the price? It's the cost of exchange. So the consumer will give up certain amount of money in return for a certain offering or a certain product. Okay? So it's a very powerful element of the marketing mix, and it can be used as a communication device. It could signal, as you said, it could signal if this is a high quality product or a lower quality product. Also, pricing promotions could be used as an incentive for people to buy this product. And also price is the only element of the marketing mix that actually generates revenue. So by setting up the right price, you will make your profit well. What are the types of pricing? How can you price a product? So suppose I have made a great product. I created this product. Now I want to price it. What are the elements that will make you decide on how much to price your product? How do you decide? First of all, the cost that it costed you to make the product, of course.
It costs like,
Absolutely. So this is competitor-based pricing. So you will compare your competitors' prices and then try to price your product accordingly. Okay. And what's the last one?
Customer.
Absolutely. How much the customer is willing to pay. So we have these three approaches to pricing: cost-based, competitor-based, and customer-based. Now, when it comes to cost-based, there are many types of costs that you want to take into consideration. Okay, so suppose you make cakes at home. Okay, what is the cost of the cake? What does it consist of? Yes, what else?
The cost of making
The cost. Absolutely. So the cost of making the cake, all right, is your variable cost. We call it variable cost. It's the cost to make the cake. But also, some people forget about their fixed costs, right? Some people forget about that we have fixed costs. We have rent, we have electricity to pay, we have other costs that should be taken into consideration. Okay, so it's hard for us to say, well, this cake costed me 5 riyal in electricity. It's very hard to do that. All right. Instead, you will calculate your total cost. Okay, so here what we have on this graph is the total cost. Okay, and then when you start selling your product, you have a total revenue. When your revenue is equal to your cost, so at this point here, okay, when two lines meet, it means here the cost is the same, the number is the same, right? Okay, so here we have what we call the break-even point. Have you heard about this term before? Break-even point? This is the point of sales. So suppose if you make one cake, you will lose money. Okay, because this one cake doesn't make you enough money to recover this all your costs. Okay, if you sell 2 cakes, you will still make a loss. Maybe if you make 20 cakes, your cost will be equal to your revenue. Okay, so we mean by that you will break even. Break even, yani you don't make a profit, you don't make a loss. It's even. And this is a very important point for you to know when you are pricing your product. Okay, so if I price it at $10, how many items should I sell until I break even? If I price it at $20, okay, and so on. So you have to do the different scenarios of pricing your products. Okay, now the first one is cost-based pricing. We have some different types of cost-based pricing. First of all, direct cost pricing or marginal pricing. The cost will increase as sales go up. The more sales you make, okay, the more your cost will increase. This is used in a service offering where capacity would otherwise be unused, like theaters, like restaurants and hotels. All right, so suppose you have a movie theater and only one person buys the ticket to watch the movie at this time. All right, definitely this is a loss. Okay, so there is a certain price, there is a certain number of people who should attend for us to break even with this showing. Okay, absolutely, if only one person attends, you will not make any money, but you still have to give the service. All right, so maybe when 10 people attend the movie, we are breaking even. After 10 people, we start making profits. You get the idea here? Second market discounting, it involves pricing different prices to different markets. So pricing the same product depending on what the market is. Yani you price your product in Saudi Arabia differently than what you price it in Paris, for example. Cost plus pricing is mostly used with projects, with construction projects. Okay, so you say, I will do the project and then you have to pay me 20% on whatever the cost of the project is. So this is what we call cost plus. So I will take back the cost plus a certain percentage. Okay, this is a way of pricing as well. The second type is called competitor-based pricing. So as you said before, competitor-based pricing, we need to study, to do market study, market research on other products, what features they have and how much they are priced for. Okay, do they have special features in their products or do we have the special features in the products? And based on that, okay, you will price your product in a way that makes your offering more attractive. Another way is called customer-based pricing. The customer-based pricing involves 4 types of customer-based pricing. First of all, demand pricing. So when the demand increases on a certain product, you can raise the price. Good value pricing. You can price the product in a way that shows the customer that this is a good value. All right? They are getting a good deal. A lot of times we see things at the supermarket, especially, we say, oh, this is a good value. It's not priced too high. It's a good quality product and it's priced average, so it will be good value. Value added pricing. Imagine you want to buy a phone, for example, okay? Why do we have different types of phones with different prices? Right. So the camera, the storage that you have on the phone, the features that the phone has, and so on. So for each extra feature, so for each thing, it has a value. So you add, let's say 500 riyal to get a better camera. You add another 500 riyal to get more storage, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is value added pricing. Psychological based pricing is when you price a product to be psychologically attractive to the customer. It involves using a price to elicit an emotional response. How many products at the mall are for 99 riyals? This is psychological based pricing. When you start seeing the 3 digits, it becomes different. 99 is the same as 100, right? But it gives you the feeling that this item is less than 100. Okay? Psychologically, the consumers would feel better when they buy this. Okay? 9.99 riyal. 79, 69, 89. You're right. Exactly. 179. All their products are, the price ends with 9. Absolutely. Okay. Now, we still have one more part for this session, which is services. What's the difference between a service and a product?
A product should be something
Exactly. So this phone is a product, okay? I can touch it, I can see it, I can use it, and so on. A service, on the other hand, is intangible. It cannot be really, the service itself cannot be touched. It could be experienced, it could be observed, but it cannot be touched or smelled or whatever. Can you give me examples of services? The doctor service, haircut. Yes, somebody on the VC was saying something.
An accountant, when you ask some
An
accountant.
accountant offers you a service, absolutely. Yes, so the result of the service could be seen and observed, but the service itself is usually intangible. A movie theater ticket is a service. You go to Disneyland, this is a service. Okay, yes, you have the ticket that is a tangible aspect of the service, but the ticket itself doesn't give you any service if you don't go there, right? So services are intangible. They are not physical offerings, although they may contain physical elements. Inseparability. What does it mean that they are inseparable? It means that production of the service and consumption happen at the same time. When you go to the movie theater, the movie being shown and you seeing it happen at the same time. They can't be at different times. Okay, when you want to have a haircut, the service and you consuming the service happen at the same time. Okay, airlines, the same thing. Restaurants, the restaurant has actually, restaurant is a very interesting example because it has 2 aspects. It has a tangible and intangible aspect. All right. The tangible aspect is the dish that you eat at the end. But basically, you are paying for the service for the dish to be prepared. Otherwise, you can make it at home. Okay. What do you pay for in a restaurant? The cost of food, yes, but not the raw material food. You pay for the cost of the food being cooked in a certain way. All right. So a restaurant has 2 elements, both tangible and intangible. Okay. Variability. So how many times did you cut your hair? One time, you like the haircut, you go again, and it's not the same cut. Okay, they messed up your hair the second time because services are performed by people and people perform differently every time. People are not robots. Okay, so people could make things different. So this is why we have variability. Perishability. If seats in the movie theater is not booked at 3 p.m. today, خلاص, it's gone. Can you sell it later? No, you will sell another show later. But a seat, for example, also on the airplane that is going from Jeddah to Riyadh, this empty seat is perishable. It's gone. The price of the revenue that you can have from this seat is gone forever. It's perishable. Also, we have some non-profit services, non-profit marketing. It includes marketing activities conducted by individuals and organizations to achieve some goal other than the ordinary business goals of profit. This university, AOU, is a non-profit organization. This means that any profit that the university makes will go back to improving the university, to buy a land, to buy another building, to make the university better, to invest in the curriculum, to invest in improving the education that we have here. In a non-profit organizations, there are no shareholders. Nobody is dividing the profits at the end of the month between among themselves. The profit goes back to the business that is doing the service that is creating the service. All right. So of course, non-profit marketing, although the main goal is not to make a profit, but definitely we need to make sure that we are actually making a profit in order to survive and in order to keep improving. All right. Now, a lot of educational organizations provide a service through teaching and learning, but typically also involves some physical elements such as teaching material. So you will always see a mix between a service and a product. Okay, so here, if you want a pure service, it's banking. Although with banking, you could also have the physical money that is involved in banking. Okay, so always with a service, we have some physical elements as well. Okay, groceries is a place, the supermarket is a place that is purely physical. You only get tangible items out of it, but also there is a certain service involved in a supermarket where you enter the supermarket and you see all the shelves, very organized, and you go to the queue, you want to pay for your items. It's not a very long queue, so this is also part of the service that the supermarket offers to the customers. So you have everything in between. Okay, so the ones that are closer to the services part have more of a service aspect to them. And the ones that are closer to the goods have more tangible. So here we have more tangible, here we have more intangible on the service side. Now, when it comes to services, also we have additional 3 Ps. Remember when we talked about the 4 Ps? Yes, product, price, promotion, and place. Okay, in services, yes, we have these 4, but we also have additional 3, sorry. Okay, people, processes, and physical evidence. So these 3 Ps are considered the extended element added to the traditional 4 Ps to take account of the differences in marketing services rather than physical products. So first of all, we have people. Why is the people element important in a service? Because the service, the people in service will be in direct contact with the customer. Okay, do you see the chair that you are sitting on? Do you know who made this chair? Do you care? Not really. Okay, so this is why in a tangible product, the people element is not there, because what matters at the end is the 4 Ps of product only, not the 7 Ps. Now, for a service, if you are flying on the airplane, so if you are sitting inside the airplane, the service that you get from the people inside, so from the flight attendant, is very important for you as part of the experience. Okay, the hairdresser, the person who is cutting your hair is very important. Accountant, the person who is preparing your taxes or your statements, whatever. Also, the knowledge of this person is important. The second is called processes. processes for delivering the service may be visible to customers to varying degree. So you enter the movie theater and you see lots of chaos, people all around the place, the line is so long. This is a process. This is how the process is organized. Airlines, the same thing. A hairdresser, the process that you see how things are working will give the consumer an idea of how good the service is. This is why the process is another element. While, do you care about the process of the factory who made the chair? What you care about is to have a good, nice working chair at the end, right? Physical evidence. Every service, although it's intangible, it also has physical evidence. So just like we said, banking has money as physical evidence. A restaurant has the actual meal as physical evidence. The hairdresser would have the decor and the things that you see around you to give you an idea of how the service will be. So this is what we call the physical evidence of the service. Okay. So they can serve as a cue, as a hint to service quality and to give the customer a certain image, a certain idea of what the product is about. Any questions?